if I could get some service. Let's see, a couple of things. It's been a long time. Entertainment all over the world, and actually spent a little time away from home, which I know a lot of you will probably be doing this holiday season. Thanksgiving, Christmas. I spent 2 Christmases in Iraq and another Thanksgiving, and I only say that I don't think you understand sometimes how much you affect everyday people, not just by your service to our country, protecting us, and everything else that you do unselfishly, but personally speaking, my son was very young. I was a single father. And being away from Christmas that first year, I kind of sat him down. And it was one of the most important life lessons I ever got to teach him, which was, look, we've been fortunate the last few years. I had finally made some money. I said, to be able to afford whatever we want, I said, I've been asked to go entertain some guys and girls over in Iraq this Christmas. So we're not going to have a lot of presents this year. I'm going to be gone, but I'm going to go be with people who can't be with their families as well. And I think that's really the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of our country. And I'm proud to say he's 32 years old now, happily married, I have 2 grandchildren, and he couldn't come today because he's working. He has 2 jobs. So I just wanted to say thank you again, because it's people like you that I was able to teach him that lesson. Now also, like I said, I'm 54 years old, and I see a lot of young faces around here. And I was thinking on the way up here, I thought about the first time that I realized I was old. And I'd like to share that story with you, because make no mistake, everyone in here is going to have this moment. And it's a moment. It happens once. And it's probably 12, 15 years ago, maybe in my early 40s. I was in Malibu, California with a very, very good friend of mine. We're sitting at a little lunch spot having a beer and having lunch. And this very pretty young girl came over. And she said, oh my God, Kid Rock. And she was with her friend. And she said, can I have my picture made with you? And I kind of, winked at my buddy. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, Grandpa's still got it, right? I'm like, and I kind of made a whole to-do out of it. I said, you know what, why don't we go outside, man? Get better light out there with the sun, this, that, and the other. So I'm standing there with these 2 very pretty young ladies, hamming it up in front of my buddy. And they were kind of nervous, and I kind of like to break the ice. And I said, so how's it feel to have your picture made with Brad Pitt? And my buddy, he's like, yeah, Brad Armpit. So I'm like, blah, blah, blah. We break the ice, take the picture. The young lady looks at, it was a phone at the time, one of those flip phones. And she looks at the picture, and she goes, oh, my God, my mom's going to shit. And that's how I knew I was old for the first time. So, but that's it. I'm just here to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you tremendously for your service, especially those that can't spend it with your loved ones this year. Now I'm so proud to bring up a man who's also served in our military and the Marines. I know it's not a day for politics, but I do hope to call him our 48th president one day. It's so nice to have people like him who are just down-to-earth normal in office. And I can't stress that enough, having been in and around politics quite a bit. And, I've been privileged to spend time with pretty much every president since Carter, just a normal human being. Whether your politics align or not, he's just a good, normal guy. And I know he fights for all of us here. And like myself, I don't think it matters your political affiliation. We all support our troops, and we are, once again, tremendously grateful for everything you do. So without further ado, could you make some noise, please, for the Vice President of the United States, Mr. JD Vance.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and let me just say, I want to say first, before we get started, on a somber note, we had, and some of you may have seen this on your phones or on social media, but apparently there was a shooting outside the White House just a couple of hours ago. And we're still learning everything. We still don't know the motive. There's a lot that we haven't yet figured out. But what we do know is that a couple of National Guardsmen were injured in the line of duty. And first of all, I want everybody who's a person of faith to say a prayer for those two National Guardsmen, that they're able to spend Thanksgiving with their families instead of losing their lives, because I understand they're still in pretty tough condition. But I think it's a somber reminder that soldiers, whether they're active duty, reserve, or National Guard, our soldiers are the sword and the shield of the United States of America. And as a person who goes into work every single day in that building and knows that there are a lot of people who wear the uniform of the United States Army, let me just say very personally, thank them for what they're doing. We're grateful to them, and we're praying that they're going to be safe and they're going to spend Thanksgiving with their families. God bless them. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the business of the Army and about what you're doing and about why it's important to the United States of America and why we are proud of you, every single one of our soldiers here in Fort Campbell and all across the world. We have got some incredible guests here to honor this moment, to honor you, to say thanks to so many of you for spending time away from your families here this day before Thanksgiving. And I want to give just a few shout-outs to some of our special guests before we get started. First of all, to General Travis McIntosh and Command Sergeant Major Charles Walker, thank you guys for leading this incredible facility, and thank you for serving in the United States Army and making us proud. Where are you guys? Please stand up and be recognized. Thank you all. We've got my dear friend, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Marsha, please stand up and say hello. And we also have Congressman Rose. Where is Congressman Rose? Please stand up. Thank you, Congressman. It's good to see you. Now, I've got to, of course, thank my dear friend Bob Ritchie. You better know him as Kid Rock. But I want to say to my staff, I gave them one instruction, and that's that I don't have to follow a literal rock star before I give a speech. And they screwed that up the day before Thanksgiving, so every single one of them are fired. But thank you to Bob Ritchie, Kid Rock, because he's not just a great musician, he's not just a great American, he is a person who loves the soldiers of the United States Army, and we are proud and grateful for Kid Rock for being here today. I want to take another few moments and just say thanks to Major Josh Wilcox, Master Sergeant Aaron Duhacek, Mr. Jim Parks, Major Rob Wright, and every single soldier who made it possible for me to come and visit. Now, I won't say that the weather is cooperating because it's windy as hell and it is cold, man. It is cold up here. My staff told me to wear a jacket. And I said, nah, I'll just be fine. And here I am 2 minutes in, wishing that I had listened because it is really freezing cold up here. But we're gonna have a little fun despite that, because we are here to celebrate not just the United States Army, we're here to celebrate each and every one of you. And I know we've got some units here at Fort Campbell, and I want to give a shout out to each of the great units. So if you are with the 101st Airborne Screaming Eagles, let me hear you a little bit. Where's the 101st Airborne? That was pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Let me say that the 101st Airborne is one of the proudest units in the entire United States Army for all warfighters everywhere. Everybody knows the prestige, everybody knows the professionalism, and everybody knows the greatness of the 101st Airborne. So when the nation calls on the 101st Airborne, you all execute, you make us proud, you kick the enemy's ass, and you come home safely, and that's exactly what we want our soldiers to do. We are honored. Somebody said, I agree. Thank you. I appreciate that endorsement. We're also honored to be here to welcome the men and women from the Strike and Destiny Brigades who just finished deployments in Europe and the Middle East. We're the Strike and Destiny Brigades. I want to say to those of you who are here for the first time back home in a few months, we're proud of you, we're grateful to you, and from the Vice President of the United States, welcome home. We also want to recognize the Legionnaires. Where we got some Legionnaires at? Like 5 or 6. We got some Legionnaires. How about the Night Stalkers of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment? We got some Night Stalkers out here? A few? Like 3. They're all working right now. And I also want to give a shout out to the 52nd Ordnance Group, members of the 2nd Battalion, 44th Air Defense Artillery, the men and women who run the elite training schools here, and many, many more soldiers who make this one of the proudest military installations anywhere in the United States Army. And I want to tell you, just give you a message from the President of the United States. I know he couldn't be here, but the President is proud of our soldiers, and he's proud of every single one of you. So from the President of the United States, he just wanted to make sure that you knew he wished you a happy Thanksgiving, and he's grateful for all you do. Now, I'm proud and happy to serve with a lot of very good people. And one of them is my dear friend Dan Driscoll, who's the Secretary of the Army. Dan is doing a great job. And I also want to give a shout out to our incredible Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. I think he's doing an amazing job. And you know, Pete gave a speech at Quantico, which is a Marine base. Don't hold it against us, but he gave a speech in Quantico a few months ago that I think is one of the best speeches that I've heard about the United States military, because he was talking about the incredible esprit de corps, and he was talking about the importance of holding the United States Army and all of our branches of the military to the very highest possible standards. And I listened to this speech, and I'm thinking as I'm watching this speech, man, Pete, this is a hell of a speech. This guy is one amazing orator, and he was talking about the importance of military standards. He said, and I'm going to quote here from his speech, "The new War Department golden rule is this: do unto your unit as you would have done unto your own child's unit. Would you want him serving with